You're listening to the Rise Guys Morning Show.
I love the Rise Guys.
Rise Guys. When news matters, it matters where you get your news. It's Rise Guys Headlines.
And we are live video streaming. Facebook.com/Rise Guys, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at the Rise Guys. Go and play along and comment and watch, interact forever.
Enjoy, hopefully.
Forever. Hey, Steph.
That's P1 Lady Marine, I believe. Wait, is that Steph?
Yeah. Well, I took 2 years of Spanish, so I knew that's what she said.
Oh, yeah.
Hola. Oh, my goodness. Well, we've got a story for you. A Florida man got into a fight with another man early Sunday at a beach, and apparently the fight was over a tricycle's headlights. No, they had them. But the victim was riding a tricycle down the beach while using a flashlight as a headlight. And the assailant didn't like that at all. Didn't like the light shining in his face and started arguing with him. And at one point, the attacker noticed that the victim had a machete in the basket of his tricycle. So he grabbed it, struck the victim with it, and there was a struggle.
Are these like the tricycles from like Snoop Dogg videos?
Oh, fat tires.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like where they're all,
I like to
laid back in
imagine
the cut.
because you know how the news would do. I'm thinking it was a big wheel because it had 3 wheels. They call that a tricycle. I bet it was a big wheel.
would
I'm
be
talking about a grown
hard.
man on a big wheel making the sound.
I think the story would be incredible if it was like a little tiny kid's tricycle. But that's not, man.
Hey,
kids
little
ride
tiny
that.
kids.
It's the bike from Baby Boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Do you ever have one of those? By the way, the word tricycle, I refuse to say trike.
Yeah.
It's like tricycle. It sounds more fun. It rolls off the trike. It sounds dirty.
Yeah.
It sounds angry.
And at this point, I usually say bicycle or motorcycle because if you say bike, you confuse the wrong crowd of people.
Yes, you do.
Like I'm either going to confuse the guys wearing orange leather or the guys who look like they have sponsorships, but in reality paid a lot of money to look like that.
Motorcyclists or bikers?
Yeah, cyclists or bikers.
People on bicycles or cyclists.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have the tricycle or whatever that had the loose wheels where you're going forward, but the wheels were a circle?
No, I never had that, but I love those.
God.
Love those.
Them things, if you could.
Somebody I was related to had one. Somebody Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Clardy had it on Poe Mill.
Yeah. Well, they did tax money.
yeah. Yeah. But
They did everybody.
We'd just start going down the hill, and if you could turn it right, you'd do that slide with the plastic across the concrete. That was such a fun feeling.
Like a
but
big
also
wheel?
scary. Yeah, but you're not going straight. The back tires are on a circular motion.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, very dangerous. I don't believe they make them anymore.
No,
I don't
but that's what introduced
With the way of lawn dart.
That's what introduced people to drifting for the first time, right?
Yeah,
That's
well,
what got
the
people hooked
drifting-
on drifting and power sliding.
Drifting is what it's called for sure. But I remember if you drifted too much, you would develop a lisp, something in the tire where it would throw it off a little bit. And
Yeah.
Wobble.
Like when you get a bad buggy at the grocery store.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
one
that
wobbly
always-
wheel.
I always get that.
If you get past the second aisle, you're like, all right,
All
we're
right.
going to fight through this. I'm not going back to the front
Or
and
the-
changing
the
all this.
squeaky
And
one.
the worst is when you go to get a cart and then they're welded together, or it seems like they're welded together, because then you
Or
feel
you
like
don't have a quarter.
you feel like such a puss trying to separate them carts if you can't get them, especially because sometimes you just can't get it.
Yeah.
And you do like this walk of shame away from them, trying to hope nobody noticed.
If you go to Aldi where you got to have the quarter,
Yeah,
and
the carts are in good shape there too. I've never got a wonky wheel.
but again,
Hmm.
if the small investment of 25 cents can net you 250 on the black market, for
Yeah.
buggies.
They can.
So if the homeless would get smart about it,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Towing cambers off on your big wheel.
But I don't want them to make it so I don't have carts when I go grocery shopping.
well, that's the thing.
I don't want that. To
Give
happen.
them the boxes.
You want your
Yeah.
quarterback.
They can tote the boxes around. Yes.
I just, when you don't have one and you get there and forget it, and then you just kind of like slowly turn to the people that are walking.
You hope if that nice person.
Yeah. because everybody's been there before. If they, or if you've been there and you're like, crap, I don't have a quarter.
Mhm.
You're like, well, they
Damn.
have boxes in there, but
Yeah.
I only got 2 arms.
Yeah, and then there's usually some nice person who'll come. Hey, you want mine?
I
Oh.
know.
And then if you try to give them a quarter, they don't want it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why.
Or they'll come back and just give you their buggy.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, and I'm gonna get your quarter back also.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
I
your
should pay it
day.
forward.
But at that point, you just got to leave the quarter in there, right, for the next person.
Pay it forward. Right, fat boy? He loves
I
to
do.
do that.
I really do.
I went to,
that karma's real, man. Buggy karma.
I went
It
one
is.
day, man, and there was like 10 carts lined up with a quarter already in them. Somebody had come through with like a roll of quarters and put quarters in all the carts.
What a nice person.
Pop them out. But then you have some.
I already had a
know.
quarter. I'm like, well, this is good. I'm gonna put this in my pocket and forget about it.
You have a Nicholas Dickhead like Fat Boy comes
Yeah.
through who messed
Look
up the pay it forward at Starbucks that day.
It happens.
That was great. It was. He said it went on for like 6 cars,
Mhm.
and then he got up there.
That boy screwed it up.
I'll do it.
He took the free one and
Curmudgeon.
just drove off.
Let me get a refresher.
There's always a grouch, and it's always you. Well, the victim took the machete back, but cut his hand in the process. He drove away on his little tricycle and called 911 and eventually was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The police brought in the suspect, but they didn't have enough to charge anything with. So there you go. All in a day
What else is it
in
take?
Florida.
Yeah, really.
Any updates? I know yesterday at the tail end of the show, 9, you were talking about Flash Funk got arrested for stabbing. Did that
Yeah,
guy
he was
die?
working security at a truck stop in Kansas City at a Love's, and the guys didn't die, I don't guess, but
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
Too Cold Scorpio's gonna be go back in court over it.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, yeah.
The people versus Scorpio.
Here's what I've learned about the media and like internet media, especially. Which is there any other?
Just
If
right
I'd
there.
not known that when I got home, my Google, the Google algorithm has figured out what I Google about, what I look at. So the first few stories on my Google homepage said wrestler involved in stabbing incident at truck stop.
Mhm.
And the picture they used was just like the silhouette of 2 men locking up collar elbow.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But
That's not accurate.
what does that tell you?
You would have thought it was the Blacktop Bully.
No, it tells you
Oh.
that it's not that popular or well known. I mean, he's well known in the extreme wrestling mark.
Yeah. Well, now
Right.
even like the local news is in on the BS of it. Like there's all the time a boil water advisory for some small town. Well, they don't tell you in the headline anymore. They make sure you click through to see the ads
See
before
what
they tell you
city.
whose water's safe to drink
Yeah.
or not. Scumbags.
So I was like, this makes if it was The Rock or The Undertaker,
It would say it in the headline,
It would
probably.
say it because that's
But-
more
Yeah.
dramatic.
But maybe not anymore because even like mainstream news is using clickbait headlines to try to get you to click through to read the story instead of just telling you in the headline. Like nobody uses the things that you would think would make sense to get
Yeah.
people to click.
like what headlines were in
Yeah.
the newspaper was like the attention getter
Yeah.
to walk over
Yeah.
and look at it, but it was there with a photo. It didn't
Mhm.
say turn to page 10 to see which air balloon exploded.
Yeah.
All the humanity. What ship were they talking
And you'd
about?
think that the headline, The Rock
Hindenburg.
arrested for assault at truck stop in Kansas City or
Right.
whatever, that gets clicks. But because the people doing it aren't necessarily the brightest, they wouldn't do it the way that makes sense. They do it backwards ass.
But they're not going to show the picture of who it is
No,
either.
no.
They just put the silhouette, 2 men locking up.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't want to get in
Or
trouble
women.
for using the wrong picture
You
either.
could do that.
Could have been Luna Vachon and Bambi.
Yeah.
Well, now we go to Beverly Hills, California with our next
Mhm.
story.
Rockin'
and,
Robin.
a guy that has what is described as a resting hard face. Not a resting bitch face, but a resting hard face.
Pinocchio had one of those.
Why is it? It doesn't look hard. He looks miserable. He did. That's funny, Matt. This wood is made of wood.
Not
Oh.
real long.
Well, in this story, it's Ben Affleck. And he has told people in the press that he's not a miserable man. It's just his resting hard face. They're going through a hard time. He and J-Lo.
But it doesn't look hard. Hard face means you look hard. He just looks like a miserable suburban dad.
Do a hard face on camera for everyone. I want to see.
I can't.
Sure.
I can't. I have a very soft
You
face.
can't do a mean mug.
Mhm.
Do it, fat boy.
Oh, God.
You look like
You look
a
like
character in the
Gonna
Dick Tracy
cry.
movie.
Well, we'll just do the De Niro.
He looks like
Give them some De Niro. They'll love it.
Want to milk me? You want to milk me?
I have that, not to the extreme of Affleck, but I mean, because they're snapping a
Serious.
zillion pictures of him a day, so you're
Yeah.
going to find more bad than good.
They just want him to be miserable. Poor guy. Look at him.
9 stage photos with me where I'm just sitting there. First off, my posture sucks. I'm like sitting like this, and then the face is this. Let me take this.
You ever catch your reflection in the TV screen when it cuts to something black and you see yourself sitting on the couch looking like,
I put something on eBay the other day, and I was like, I was like, shoot, I can see exactly what I'm wearing and everything in the reflection.
Yeah.
Like those
I love
ads
when
on-
people do that and they're naked
on
taking the
Facebook
picture.
Marketplace.
all right.
You saw that naked woman that time.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't tell she was naked. She was.
She
but
was.
Things. She's a little heavy up top.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. All right.
Yeah.
So what happened on Sunday night? Well, Ben was leaving his home that he bought with Jennifer Lopez in the Beverly Hills, and he stopped his car to yell at the paparazzi. They were on the street snapping away with their cameras as they have been doing lately, and Ben was upset that he couldn't see because of all the flash bulbs. So he said, quote, "Don't do that. That's dangerous."
Who uses flash bulbs anymore?
Yeah. You want to hear it from Ben? I got Ben.
Hey, Ben. Talk like Batman.
I guess he never drives with oncoming traffic
I was
at
gonna
night.
say the backpedaling there was he made
Yeah.
it about his daughter.
Yeah, I gotta tell
tripping
you
down
what,
the
man, the
steps.
oncoming traffic, I wish I could yell at them to turn their lights off sometimes in the morning, especially
Yeah.
the ones with the high beams
Right.
on.
But I'm just going to say, listening to that, he doesn't. The headline says, "Watch Ben Affleck lose his mind." Well, no, he didn't really lose it when he's talking. He just said, "Hey, man, stop doing this. My daughter, that was his main concern. You could cause an accident. What are you doing, fools? Go get a story. Someone else. Leave my house." That's what I would have said. But then that would make the story.
That's why you don't take kids places.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. But imagine if it was Alec Baldwin, no gun jokes, but if he's like, my fat little pig sister, daughter is coming down the steps.
The
right
one I
now."
called a fat
my
little pig.
God.
Yeah,
He said it, not me.
he did.
The flash bulbs will make her big ass fall down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that little child now?
She's
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. Oh
My
my
God.
gosh.
I saw her when I was on an airplane with them. That time I flew to LaGuardia and they were on the air. They got off first.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw her in person that day.
Yeah.
And him too. I'm lucky I walked away.
So when all this happened, J-Lo,
Little did I know at the time.
she flew to Naples to Paris over the weekend.
Oh, Naples, Italy, not Florida.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Ben Affleck was mad that they were outside his house, which perfectly understandable.
Don't you
But
be?
he used the flashing lights thing instead of just being mad that they're at my house and it's dark outside. They're just hanging outside my house. That'd piss anybody off. Just be mad about that because that's what you're mad about.
I know the internet exists, so by now it would have already been a thing. But do you think any celebrities like in Hollywood or even Nashville, because Nashville, I did it for the first time, when you would purchase a map to the stars' homes?
Mhm.
That's like absurd. Like
Yeah.
you're saying,
That's
hey,
where I live.
They have no privacy or no life, but that's what you.
I mean, you
That's what
get
you
in
kind
it
of
and you
enlist when you're in
realize.
Hollywood that this is going to be you famous.
I just wonder, like, did anybody ever walk down to the corner and say, quit selling maps to my house?
I'm sure
Or at
people,
least cut me in on
I'm
it.
sure they get
Right.
cut in if they're on it. I'm sure people have opted out of it. or
Photo ops at the gate at 5.
I'm sure people who really don't want to don't. It's not as known. But then again, like if you were a famous movie star and you didn't want to be found out, would you live in Hollywood? You
No,
just
you
live in
wouldn't.
Montana or Wyoming, Idaho.
I'd use an alias.
I
Nicholas
live in Watts.
Yeah,
Sure, why not?
Compton.
El
Piru.
Segundo,
Oh, I
somewhere
thought you
like
meant
that.
Ricky.
No,
All right. Well,
Alan.
I'm Paige,
Mm,
and those are your
AJ.
Rise Guys headlines.
thank you. Let's say hello to people in the live chat. What is up, P1 Shenanigans? Oh, she wrote a bunch here.
Filthy
Says,
mouth.
I always get smile. It's not that bad, and I hate it. I don't walk around smiling, but it doesn't mean I'm mad. Damn, mind your business. But she ends it with an LOL.
Yeah. Yeah.
I absolutely get that.
Oh yeah.
Tim Looper, he said, I've never seen him not smile.
Mhm.
So, you know,
He's pretty happy. Yeah.
Looper.
Josh Evett, what is up? What is up, Coach? You can always count on Coach to be in there.
I think based on his the people an Avalanche fan. Josh is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I like Tugboat better.
Did you talk about it? Yeah.
I was more of a tugboat guy.
Shockmaster.
Yeah. Are we wrapped up on
Hippie.
time?
It's old hippie.
Oh, we are? Okay, cool. Thank you, Paige.
Welcome.
Goodbye to everyone on the live chat. We will take a break. We'll come back. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. 1-800-774-0093. Get on the horn, touch base with us. It's